I get asked all the time, how do I make more money per dollar I spend on ads? And it's a very simple answer, yet majority of business owners either know about it and neglect it or are completely unaware of what's possible in the backside of your business as long as you execute the right things. You see, most marketing funnels and sales funnels separate into two different parts. You have your front end and you have your back end. Now, majority of internet marketers or agency owners spend all of their time on the front end. This is things like producing content, running ads, what is the funnel they use, what's their salespeople doing. And they spend all of their time here. They think that if they have a perfect front end, they can crush it. And I do see it happen often where you have all of your ducks in a row, your content is crushing, your ads are crushing, your funnel's perfect, and your salespeople are savages. And you end up running that campaign at like a 3x return on your ad spend, which is great. That's something that I would scale. However, where a lot of business owners neglect is the back end. And this is going to be things like email, like text, like your pricing structure, right? Simple things on the back end that cause your leads to convert over time. And it's something that it's neglected way too often. And so in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what back end systems you should be introducing into your business in order to, again, make more money from every ad dollar that you spend. So I want you to think about your business like this, right? You have two pieces. You have ads, content, and other traffic sources, let's say referrals or something, that bring people to a funnel. This would be your website, this would be your call funnel, this would be a webinar, whatever it is. From that funnel, what then happens in most high ticket situations, whether you're raising capital or running an info product, is it'll then go to your salespeople. And then worst case, your salespeople may have to follow up and do some extra things to get them across the line, which then turns those ads into ad dollars. So again, let's say you put $1 in here, you get $3 back. What a lot of people neglect is, let's say they don't convert initially. What do you do if they just go off into the abyss? Right? You've got leads that are sitting in your CRM and they're just not doing anything. And that's where these back-end systems come in. And this all starts with one piece of software that if you don't have in place, for the love of God, please put it in place, your CRM. This is your customer relationship management system. This is essentially a way to manipulate data in your favor as a business owner so that you know who the highest engaged leads are, who's going to convert, who to send emails to and when, and a bunch of other things in order to drive up the revenue per client that you make, or the lifetime value of each customer that you have. Now, your CRM, again, is meant to track customer activity, filter customers, and create an easy place to fire marketing automation, or sort for salespeople use. Sort for salespeople use. This is the heart and soul of all of your back-end selling, right? It's the number one thing that you need to be focused on. Because what you can do with your CRM is a couple of things. And this goes back to what we talked about here with the email, the SMS, and the pricing. We're going to start with email. Inside of each customer CRM, what you have are called pipelines, right? New lead, booked call, showed call, no show, DQ, close, right? We'll just say it like that. Again, these will change based off each business owner and each business type, right? If it's capital raising, reviewing details, follow up, soft commit, simple things like that. But you'll have these little pipeline stages, and under each one, you have a bunch of different customers, right? Maybe you have 4 booked calls, you have 2 show calls, you have, 6 no shows, whatever, a couple DQs, and then you have a couple closed as well. What you have is you have these little subsets of customers. And what a lot of people will do with their businesses is they'll have somebody come in under new lead and they'll just say, cool, let me wait till the salesperson calls them to push them to a booked call. Rather than sending these people email and text. Same thing for booked call. People will book a call and they won't send any pre-call emails. Or they show a call and you don't send them an email that says, hey, appreciate you taking the time out of your day to have this call. If you have any other questions, let us know. Simple shit like that. No shows. Again, contextualize emails and SMSs to get people to show up instead of relying on your salespeople or saying, oh, they don't care, let's put them to the side. right? Hey, it's a huge red flag when our clients don't show up to these calls. So I want to make sure I'm obviously going to assume that there was some life event that happened if you want to rebook. Again, not perfect copy, but you get the point there. DQs, again, you can leave these people alone or you can drive them to a low ticket product. And then same thing with closed, right? What are your onboarding sequences, right? Do you have opportunities to upsell? And so what you can do is you can take your pipeline, your sales pipeline inside of your CRM, and you can send contextual automations based on where each one is at. Let's use an example from the capital raising niche. Let's say somebody is a new lead and then they have a call, they have a booked call, and then after that booked call, they're reviewing info, right? Because obviously these ones take a little bit longer if you're raising a couple $1 million or someone is looking to deploy a couple $1 million. So you'll have reviewing info. Each one of these will have different contextual automations to then drive action or incentivize the individual to move in the direction you want them to move. So for example, in a new lead, you have a lot of emails and texts that will create what we call an open loop. This open loop is only able to be closed on the booked call. And then the booked call, again, we're going to go for the close. But if we can't close the reviewing info, we need to send a lot more contextual and info-dense content. This would be your pitch deck, right? This would be some of the other information. And the reason we don't do that in the new lead section is because we don't want them reviewing all the info and then just not even showing up to the call. And so what you'll do is you'll have these backend systems to convert people based on where they're at. And it's all contextual. Again, this goes back to the, where'd it go? This goes back to the email, SMS, and your pricing structure. Now, the other thing that's important to note with email and SMS specifically is, again, a CRM has all of your customer data in it, right? Just imagine these are different customer entries. What you can do in different situations is you can send email and text blasts to drive more bookings. Hey, we just had 3 more spots open up in our program. Hey, the window to invest with our fund is now closing, right? We're almost to the maximum raised amount. So we wanted to push this out, let you guys know that, hey, we're filling up soon. So if you wanted the opportunity to really take advantage of it. And we can send these blasts out to get influxes of revenue or influxes of booked calls, just depending on what you're doing. And that's something that people don't do, right? I typically recommend you do this once, maybe twice a month, depending on where you're at. And during holiday seasons, you can aggressively push these types of campaigns. Black Friday, Christmas, New Year's, right? Thanksgiving. You know, even MLK Day gives you an excuse to blast the list about different things. And so that's the other backend component, is not just contextual flows based on the different pipeline stages, but hitting the list as a whole to extract dollars that are not being taken advantage of or not being liquidated from your ads. Because what will happen is you may have somebody that comes in from an ad and they just never buy, and they just sit in your CRM. You see them open your emails, you see them clicking on different things, but they never buy until you straight up ask them through an email or a text, hey, we're selling this thing. Do you want it? We're raising money for this new project inside of the fund. Do you want to be a part of this? Very, very straightforward. Now, the last aspect to this that is extremely important on the back end selling side, and if you guys are liking information like this, there's going to be a link below. You can book a call with the agency, whether you're selling information or you're raising capital, to learn a little bit more about how we help get a little more in-depth answers to your questions about some of the stuff that we may be talking through here. And also just to provide some clarity based on where you're at. My goal with a lot of the calls inside the agency, whether it's myself or a member of my team taking the calls, is to make sure that you guys walk away from them with actionable items that you can go address and implement inside of your business that are more nuanced and based on your situation relative to a generalized YouTube video. But back to the video. Make sure you book that call. But back to the video. The main thing that I need you to understand in general is going to be pricing. This is something that majority of business owners do not understand, and they continuously mess up. What they'll do is they'll have one offer, and that's it. Whether it's a 5K thing, whether it's one offering inside of your fund, they have one offer that they're selling. This more so applies to the info, but even somewhat to the fundraising. You'll have one offer, and that's all you'll sell. And so you'll have a customer come in that's like, I don't have enough money for offer one. Do you have anything else? And you go, no, sorry. Or you just don't even sell them because they're not qualified, right? So what you need to do is you need to make sure you have a second offer. Maybe this is a lower cost, right? So maybe this is here, maybe this is here. That way, again, this customer may go, oh, okay, cool. Well, number 2 is for me. You also want to have the inverse of this. So you're going to want to have a third offer. In this offer, you want to be 3 times as expensive as your lowest offer or more expensive than your core offer. Because you may have somebody that goes, this is not for me. It doesn't cost enough, so I don't trust that offer. This is definitely not for me because it's cheap. But this right here, this is what I want. We see this all the time in the capital raising space where someone will, especially in the beginning, we would see it all the time where someone would fill out a form, but they wouldn't take the fund seriously because they weren't raising enough money, right? Guys with $5, $6, $7 million that they're looking to deploy into one asset, and we're only asking for $50K on the form. They immediately are like, oh, I guess this isn't for me. They're looking for less money. Whereas if I had something for, if I was like, hey, we're looking to raise, $20 million in chunks of 2, then this person may go, cool, I can fill 3 of those spots. Right? It changes the way that you view it. And I'm sure you see this all the time where, reason you don't go to McDonald's when you're looking for a nice meal is because it costs $3. The experience isn't there. But if McDonald's, or a better example is Costco. Costco's got liquor for like $3,000. It also has liquor that's like $10. Same vodka, same tequila. I can't remember the brand name specifically, but it has something for people that have no money and it has something for people that have a ton of money. And when you don't sell something on every end of the spectrum, you basically are putting $1 in, and if they don't want this, you're lighting it on fire. That's supposed to be a fire. You're lighting it on fire. And so that's the biggest thing with pricing. The other thing that you should understand about pricing is, let's say they do buy offer 1. You're going to want to have either timed reminders or result-based reminders, to tell your CSM or your account manager, whoever it is, to say, okay, cool, time to see if we can upsell them. And what you'll notice is over the length of your campaigns, you'll have a sale here, which will get you, let's say, a 3x ROAS. And then you may have a sale here 6 months later that puts you at a 5x ROAS. And so maybe your 30-day is 3x, but your 90-day is 5x. And a lot of business owners, they neglect this, right? They bring an investor in one time for the fund and they raise, $100K from them. And then they go to another raise 2 years later and they bring in another 200 grand from the guy, right? People neglect this second part. They always assume, I need to just focus on the front end, and it kills their business. And so these are just some of the core principles. Obviously, we're just kind of scratching the surface here in terms of what those automations look like, how it should flow, and things of that nature. But the core principle here is, obviously, you want a successful front end. But if you fail to leverage your CRM and the email and the SMS and the different pricing structures and offers that you can sell, your campaigns, you'll just be burning money. It's very, very straightforward. And so if you want to audit into your backend systems as to how things flow within the funnel, or in how your CRM is being leveraged, there's going to be a link below. You can book a call with myself or a member of my team. We're going to audit exactly where you're at in your business to make sure that you're capturing the most amount of revenue from your ad campaigns. Or we can help you implement some of these things like crafting new offers, right? Or optimizing your CRM for different things. So hopefully this video was helpful, guys. Again, there's going to be a link below this. You can book a call. You can talk to myself or a member of the team. Also, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be putting stuff like this out every single week, both for info products and for capital raising, so you guys can get the most up-to-date information as to what's working in the market today. So hope that helped. I will see you in the next one. Peace.